Third Rolfing session is designed to derotate the lateral line or the side line of your structure. So, much like the second session, I typically begin the third session working with the feet, the low leg, to continue derotating the structures from the tip of the toe to the ankle, working up the side of the low leg to the femur, working with the IT band, which obviously is a source of a lot of discomfort for many clients, and then continuing up to the pelvis, working with quadratus lumborum up to the ribs. And with my third session, I like to do real specific detailed work starting from the sacrum all the way up the lumbars, working the direction and the correction around the whole thorax. So in some segments, the tissue is going to be wide from the back to the front, so I want to move it to the front to the back. And this segment will be counter-rotated somewhere up the line with a segment that is wide on the front and narrow on the back. So on this segment, I need to derotate the tissue around the thorax to normalize that. And so the back essentially is a line of transmission that distributes the asymmetry and the rotations and counter-rotations by being either thin and wide on the front of the back, and then the opposite side is going to be narrow or close to the midline. So we want to normalize that connective tissue so that we can directly affect the position of the whole segment. Continuing up the back, I'll do more detailed work with the scapula and the shoulder girdle. Again, working down the arm to the fingertips, and this is obviously a good place to address any type of carpal tunnel syndrome issues. In the first session, we will definitely create some space in the wrist. But the third session is another great opportunity to continue differentiating this tissue, these segments, from each other to create more space, create more movement and less discomfort. But working down to the fingertips, up to the neck where the cervicals are, this is a great opportunity to introduce some clavicle derotation. The relationship between the clavicle and the seventh cervical vertebrae is there, so we want to work to normalize those two so that they are in agreement. Working all the way back up to the base of the skull to the occipital bone, differentiating these cervical segments, and closing the third session, lateral line session, with more back work or some movement integration work, some more tractioning work would be a great way to end the session.